Hello, and thank you for joining Paper Crafting with Tracy. Today we're going to be making this beautiful sunset card using the Rooted in Nature tree that we're going to create a reflection with. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a piece of basic white cardstock, and it is our 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to get a piece of paper down. Now I'm actually going to be doing this one in portrait mode. So I'm going to start off with Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to show you a couple different techniques. This one I'm going to be using our new blending brushes that are available in the new catalog. Okay, so just get some ink on there. And I'm going to start in the center because this is going to be where the tree is. And we're just going to start working it out. Just like so. Might even bring it down a tiny bit. I want it fairly dark. I can start it off with the really bright colors. There we go. And the edges are going to actually be all incorporated in. I just want to make sure it's nice and dark here in the center. Okay, so I'm going to put that one away. So that was Daffodil Delight. Next I'm going to get the Mango Melody. Okay, and now I'm going to use a sponge dauber for this one just to show you different techniques. Okay, and now I'm going to be starting on the outside and moving in. Just swirling it around. And as you swirl it, it gets darker and darker. I'm not so worried about what's on the edge there because that's going to be hidden. So this is a messy technique, but very effective. Oh. There we go. So we'll close that one up. Next, I'm going to use Melon Mambo. So again, starting on the outside. And just starting to and by doing the kind of swirling motions, you don't get so much the streaks. So you're just building. Okay. Next, we're going to use Cherry Cobbler. So we're starting to get darker and darker, as you can see. So I'm just going to go over kind of where I've already been. And just kind of blending in the edges a bit. Okay, now we're going to start making the sky. So I'm going to start with Pacific Point. I'm going back to using a brush for this one. Okay, and you want it nice and dark on the edges. Okay, and what I should have done here in the center, I just didn't think about it until now, is particularly is leave it a little bit lighter, which I kind of done. So start really dark and just work your way in. And don't worry about that kind of blotch showing, because that will hide here in a moment. And now you're going to go really dark with Night of Navy. Okay, now this one you just want to be careful as to how much. So, and this will bring in some kind of a purpley color too. So you can see how that's darkening up the sky there. And now we'll do down here in the water. So just keep blending. You could add a bit of purple in there too. I'm not going to. Okay, just like so. Okay. Next we're going to stamp our trees. So with the Rooted in Nature stamp, I'm going to take that great big tree. Just grab my block, and I'm going to start with a basic gray, because I'm going to do the reflection first. So we'll just ink up our, and I don't care that it's not all perfect, because I'm going to off stamp first because I want it really light. So kind of choose where the center is going to be. And then we're going to stamp. Just like so. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to take full on with Memento Black. So I want to make sure it's well, and you could use your Stamparatus for this as well, so that you could go over it a couple times, because I want it dark for this. And I'm going to make it so that the trees just about meet. I'm going to create a horizon anyways, so. Just like so. There we go. So my trees don't quite meet, but that's okay, because I'm going to create a horizon for that. So you could take some just plain paper, which I don't think I have any here. So I will use just some Post-it notes. Actually, what I will do is I will just take some of this instead of the Post-it notes. I'm just creating a mask is all I'm doing. Okay, so I just want to make sure it's as big as my paper. So I just want to, I don't want it to be, there we go. So all I'm going to do, I think I might adjust that one a tiny bit. I'm taking the end of the tree, and then you want to leave a little bit of a gap, like so. Okay, because you're going to color in now with your basic black. And you want it really dark. Oops. Okay, and this is almost done now. What this is doing is creating a horizon for you. And you just want it nice and dark. There we go. And there's our horizon, okay, which is very wet. So we'll just move this out of the way. Okay, and now we just have to mount everything. So I'm going to be using the stitched rectangles. Guys, the stitched rectangles. So inside you've got all these rectangles, and I'm going to use the largest one and the third largest one, and I'm just going to cut out a frame in basic black. So this is what you end up with. Let's move all these little pieces aside so that I don't. So I learned this technique from a fellow demonstrator, Angie. Sorry, Angie, I can't at the top of my head remember what your last name is. And I'm going to be using some Calypso Coral as my backing. So all I'm going to do, because I know I'm going to be putting this directly on here, is I'm just going to tape all the way around that. Actually, I'm probably going to, because the tape is a bit too wide for that, so I'll just glue it. Oh, this one's, I'll get a different one. That one I got to unseal. It's clogged the end. So we'll just glue the edge. I'll get ready to put this one down. I'll tape it down. And just center it. Like so. And now I'll take my border and stick that around the outside edge. Like so. Now you could put a sentiment going across the bottom here, but there's your card. Okay, and to finish it off, Okay, I'll just put some basic white on the black. Normally I don't leave the inside of a card blank, but this one, where I don't have a saying, I'd probably put some kind of a sentiment on the inside just to match whatever occasion, so I'll just leave it blank for until the time comes when I come to use it. And there we are. Okay, beautiful sunset cards. So I hope you've enjoyed this video with Paper Crafting with Tracey. Please subscribe to the channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest with Paper Crafting with Tracey. Happy stamping!